Okay, good morning, everyone. Today we continue our discussion, and we start in a new topic of which is descriptive analysis, or basically traditionally just visualizations. But just keep in mind, next week we have our first quiz in 8th of March. But we have an online class due to coronavirus, so what it would be like an exam. So I post you some questions and you have almost half a day to answer. So if let's say March 8th, I post it on, let's say, afternoon, and you have your time, you should submit it by midnight. Or most likely I post it on early morning. So if you are from around the world, you have at least a couple of hours to answer the questions. So it's from the week 1 and 2 class readings. Also, I already posted your second homework, but today we are still talking about Tableau, but it comes from your knowledge from Tableau, which we cover today and on next Wednesday. So after that, you have enough knowledge to answer this homework. Also, keep in mind, your first project delivery is 22nd of March. It's basically the abstract, like problem statement, motivation, introduction to data and the topic, and project scope. Also, data source, data description, and if there is too many data and like variable names are ambiguous, also please include the data dictionary. Any questions so far? Okay, so as you might know, at the end of semester you have a presentation, and this has a significant portion of your overall credit or grade in this course. You can start from now watching like 3 minutes thesis competitions, which students share their research over just 3 minutes. You can also start looking at the TED Talks, so you can see how you can present with a high quality. Usually TED Talks have a very good quality of presentation. Also, we have analytics competition at the end of this semester. You don't have to compete, but you should at least attend the competition, so be as attendees. It accounts for 30% of your class attendance. In that competition, you should submit your abstract, which you already did it by March 22nd, and they may call you for a final presentation, which is in May 21st. They give you they appreciate you with awards, and you get some certification of the competition. It's actually a really cool competition. And the knowledge that you already have in previous analytics course or this course might be enough for attending this competition. A big portion of this competition is basically how you present your research. So by then you should have good skills in terms of how to present well, and hopefully you win the competition. So I think Kemi Watson, our department secretary, would announce the competition. So, but keep in mind, whatever you do submit for your project abstract, first delivery, you can just tweak it a little bit, change it or rephrase it, and submit it for this competition. Okay, let's see what we had last week. We have introduction to course. We talk about course structure, types of analytics like descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. We talk about how to present well. You might remember we talked about the Miss Universe show. We get started with Tableau. We talk about how to install, what are the product keys, and hopefully today you have it ready, because today I start some very basic hands-on experiences on Tableau. If you haven't installed yet, I mean, I'm recording this today class, so later you can watch the videos and reproduce what the analysis that we do today. If anyone has issues in installing Tableau, so if you have issues, you haven't installed it, please reach me during my office hours or just make an appointment and we can talk about it. So what we do this week, we go over some visualization examples, some people's work, and also we do some examples. We talk about developing exploratory questions. We talk about importance of storytelling. Basically, the second and third one is about your skills and art of presentation, type of visualization, and we will have some hands-on experiences over Tableau. Okay, let's see who studied the reading of last week. So we had application case 1.2 about Sylvaris increased business with visual analytics and real-time reporting capabilities. So is there anyone who can answer the first question? What was the challenge faced by Sylvaris? Can you just use microphone and talk about that? No one. Oh my God. Probably whatever comes in your mind is right.
So actually they wanted to like, you know, have a platform where they can analyze or, you know, have a glimpse of the data, the operational activities like in real time, rather than making reports, which takes a long time.
Okay, yes, you are very right. And the second question also could be under umbrella of first question. So basically, Tableau helped them to have those real-time reporting by making dashboards. So dashboard is like car dashboard. So it just shows you several information in terms of engine rate, revolution per minute or RPMs, speed, temperature, whatever. So it's similar to car dashboard, which gives you a real-time reports of car performance. So we can do something with Tableau and get the real-time performance of our business. Second one, application case 1.3. Siemens reduces cost with the use of data visualizations. So is there anyone who can answer the first question? What challenges were faced by Siemens visual analytics groups? Is there any volunteer for this question?
I believe they were having trouble reporting solutions for the entire organization and different departments, while trying to balance other departments.
Okay, that's a really good one. Good answer. And basically, it's a really large institution. They have several sections, and also they need to deal with surveys, supply chain, and find the issues and even predict the issues ahead of the time. So Dundas BI helped them to significantly reduce the cost and time. In this course, we do some standard visualizations and the practical one, but visualization can go over arts too. So you can be creative, use arts for better visualizations. It's not that much recommending. I don't recommend them to do it in your actual day-to-day work, but sometimes you have extra time, why not? You can be artistic and do artistic visualizations. So let's talk about art of analytics. It takes 20 amazing analytics insight and present them as a large artworks, complete with a description about the insight and a story about the analyst or artist. So art of analytics is basically an exhibition that people show their outstanding artworks in visualization. So they try to visualize data and infuse it with some art. Like this one. It kind of looks like a big bang, like in the sky, but it identifies social and business relationship through calling groups. So each dot are phone number, lines are the calls. So you might see from some points, especially in top left of the picture, there's so many lines going out. Basically, it just means they made a lot of calls. So let's say you're working in T-Mobile or AT&T, and they show a similar figure to you. How you can use this figure? By the way, this visualization is not for usability, it's for art, but you can easily find spam callers, right? So somebody have robots to call people and ask for money. So this is one of the way, so visualizations help them to easily identify those problematic dialer. Okay, look at this one. So basically, it's a Twitter analysis, and nodes are people who are attacking a comment, which was a negative comment following the Margaret Thatcher's death. She was Prime Minister of Britain somehow like 20, 30 years ago or more. And the lines are retweets. It's just interesting visuals. I'm not sure how you can make business out of it, but basically somehow government can use it to see to find to help them to identify people who do cyberbullying. So, and it could be one of the ways. Okay, this one is about business, money flow between companies. So dots are companies and lines are basically flow of money or money transfer. So you can see some companies transfer a lot of money, some of them low. Probably it gives you some good insight about some companies' financial potentials and how they are active. And maybe if you want to give the loan to them based on the activity, maybe you should charge a lower interest. Look at this one. This one basically, they have some cell phone towers, and they can just track basically train transportation between each cell phone towers. Maybe based on the colors, they can understand some parts of the track there is more passenger. Probably maybe they need more towers, or like making more powerful towers, because they don't want overwhelmed by too many people using cell phone over a train. Okay, this one is also show car loans guaranteed by car dealers and manufacturers. Notes are guaranteed loans, and lines are guarantor. So basically here, maybe some institution making a lot of loans, maybe they have a very risky situations, whereas some of them they're not active in getting or giving loans. So it gives a good insight about financial health of some companies. It also is about loans. So basically, some developers gives a lot of loans, some of them more active than others. This one is also very interesting. Dots are whiskey brands, and edges are flavor types. So, and it's just one of the leaf is about that visualization. I'm not sure what kind of business we can make out of it, but it's a really interesting visualization. So they make something like leaf and put it next to natural leaves, and they try to basically being artistic. I'm not sure if you get information from here or not. Okay, this one is talking about human disease. So, but first of all, you can find some diseases in some certain parts of the body. And if they're larger, it just means they have more association with other diseases, because some diseases goes together. And if there's a kind of disease that cause or correlate to so many diseases, maybe you can focus on that part of the body. For instance, maybe heart problems could be associated to obesity, or digestion system issues, or lungs. So you might see some links between those spheres, just because of the correlation between diseases. Any questions so far?
I think we're good.
Okay, good. So anyway, because it's an online class, so after a few slides, I just wait a little bit, so in case you have questions. And for your project, I don't expect you to do such artistic figures, but if you can, why not? It could be really interesting. Okay. We have basically two general types of visualization: data visualization or information visualization. So data visualization, you just visualize the raw information, versus in the information visualizations, basically you process the data. It could be either aggregations, summarization, contextualization, and so on and so forth. Then you visualize your results. Let's talk a little bit brief about history of data visualization. So it's a certain long time ago. If you go to some ancient sites, you can see over the caves or ancient walls, people show some visualizations that talking about maybe crops, maybe dangerous, or their victories. But modern visualization just started like a couple of centuries ago. Like this one is, as you see, is about 220 years ago. Is about export and imports from England to then Union of Denmark and Norway. So you can see between 70, 81, England imported more than exported. But why? After 70, maybe 50, 60, England exported more to Union of Denmark and Norway. It's actually cool. It just seems that visualization aesthetics has a good history. Or this one is just about decimation of Napoleon army during the Russian campaign and what happened to that army. So in the modern era, we have so many tools that provide tools and actually entities that provide data. It could be business processes like supply chain management or SCM or customer relationship management or CRM and so on and so forth. Could come from social media, and it could be not just text, it could be videos, pictures, voices. So you can learn some techniques that convert them to basically tabular tables, data that helps you to process. It could be from so many sensors, which we generally talk about Internet of the Things. Given that we have so many resources, we have also some concern. It's like source reliability, content accuracy. So basically, you should have reliable data to be able to process and provide good information. There is a general term that's saying garbage in, garbage out. So if you infuse bad data or enter bad data, you shouldn't expect to get good results. Also, other general concerns like richness of the data, consistency, granularity, and validity of your data. This figure talks about general data types in analytics. Some of them are structural. The structural data divided into numerical and categorical. With numerical either intervals or ratios, and categorical could be nominal or ordinal. Nominal could be, let's say, street names or basically city names. Ordinal could be just means they're in the order. So for example, like you might remember if you go shop Amazon, there's a star rating. So some product has 1 star, 2, 3, 4. So 3 means more than 2, and 4 means more than 3, and 5 means the best. Basically, even they could be in the numerical format, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. But we look at their order, not the actual numerical values. Unstructured or semi-structured data is the vast majority of data in this era, because we have so many texts, multimedia, like image, audio, and videos, and also JSON or XML files. Talking about data processing or data preparation. Original data preprocessing in the last class is actually one of the most important part of your project. Takes most of the time, most of your available time, but is actually very important. So basically, maybe you need to drop some observations or some columns and prepare your data for actual analysis later. So, but these are the very important part that you shouldn't ignore. Otherwise, you provide bad data for basically analytics part and garbage in, garbage out. So this figure just give you some general idea about which kind of graph you can use. So as you see in the right side, we are talking about distribution. Maybe like you want to do an analysis of people's health, and you want to show their distribution of height and weight. So these 4 figures is just typical figures that you can use for your visualization. For comparison, you can maybe use pie chart or other that say for composition, and so on and so forth. So I assume in your project probably you need at least 3 or 4 of these figures. So it could be a good reference for you to understand how to present your data, and it just comes from your research questions. Any questions so far? Great.
Sorry, Professor, may I ask a question on page 24?
24, okay.
Yeah, I have no idea about the data granularity. Can you explain more about that?
Sure, it's really a really good question. So let's say I want to talk about, where are you from actually?
Pardon?
Are you from China?
Well, yeah, I'm from Taiwan.
Oh, you're from Taiwan.
Yeah.
So tell me 2 cities in Taiwan. One of them is Taipei. Could you tell another city name?
Yeah, I live in Taipei. Well, the most famous building is Taipei 101, which has like...
No, tell me other city names in Taiwan.
Oh, other city names like Taichung and Kaohsiung. Yeah.
Kaohsiung and Taipei. Okay, let's say I want to talk about COVID cases in Taiwan. If my granularity is in the country, I just talk about whole of the country. But maybe I want to look at more precise. So then instead of talking about whole of Taipei, I talk about the COVID in each city. So my granularity size now is city. So I would say Taipei, Daizhou, and the other one. And maybe in the Daizhou, we have a lot of cases. So then maybe for me, city is not enough. I want to divide or maybe do some quarantine in Daizhou. So I look at the neighborhoods in Daizhou. So, and in each neighborhood, I count number of COVID cases and maybe do quarantine in some neighborhood of Daizhou instead of the whole of the city. So the first granularity was country, then we go to cities, then we went to neighborhood of a city. Do you see?
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe in terms of time, you want to look at 1 year. Maybe your granularity is, you want to look at how Taiwan did in last decade. If your granularity year, you look at each year GDP of Taiwan. If your granularity is quarter or season, you look at each seasons. And if it's like month, you look at the GDP of Taiwan each month. So it's just time granularity.
Okay, so it's basically like different attributes. If we code in like in database related, so it's different attributes of data.
You can say in a simple way, you can say measuring unit.
Okay. Okay.
So
totally understand.
Okay, that's good. So let's say I can talk about your height in feet and inches, or I can talk in meter or centimeter or millimeter. Do you see there's a different granularity?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank
I hope
you.
I could. You're welcome. If there's more questions, please reach me later. So, we talk about technology, and let's talk about look at this interesting website, a Gapminder. So, let's see. So just Google Gapminder, and in the first link, what happened here? Let me see, just with that. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened now, but okay. Click on tools. Okay, I got it. So when you Google Gapminder, click on tools. Look at the Y variable is life expectancy. You can change it to different variables, education, energy, health. But let's talk about life expectancy of, and X is income. If you look at here, you also can change your X variable to different variables, which the measure is GDP per capita. So we have flows from, for sure, from United States. We have from, just know from Taiwan. Unfortunately, this figure is not very complete. So I don't think it has all the countries. I think it has limited number of countries. So we have flows from India and China. Let's see, select India and what other countries? Do we have any people from other countries? Just India, China, United States? If there is, please let me know so we can look at how your country did over over like last century or last couple of centuries. We want to see the effect of life expectancy, sorry, the effect of income over life expectancy during the last 2 centuries. Nobody talking about other countries today, so I think there is a flow from Ghana. Let's put Ghana here too. So the blue one, Ghana, this one, India, China, and US is the green one. Let's play. So now we start from 1804. And let me deactivate the tracks here. So there's otherwise, do you see there is, we saw the tracks, so I'm deactivate from here. So in 1817, life expectancy of India is about 20 something, Ghana is 30, China 30, and I assume US should, no, US is here, is at 40. It doesn't mean everybody in India died at age of 25. It's just the average life expectancy. So if there's just, let's say as an example, one guy lived 100 years and the newborn baby died, so 100 plus 0 divided by 2, because the average of or mean of the two is mean of these two is 50. So now the life expectancy is 50. If it just, we just could say in that time, about 200 years ago, in some countries, we have so many deaths of newborn babies. So for this reason, their life expectancy is pretty low. Even for US, it's just 40. It doesn't mean in US everybody died at age of 40. So now we go more. So there is a drop in India here. It might be associated to some wars or like some pandemics. So there's a drop in China. I assume something happened in China. So let's go to the 1917 or 80, something around that area. As you see, all 4 countries dropped down. So even US, Canada, China, and India, all of them suddenly went down. Can anyone say what happened at that year, 1970?
World War I.
Yes, so many people died due to like the war or famine after that. And we had a Spanish flu at that time. As you see over the time, life expectancy is going up and up. For me, it just means maybe the health can improve so people could live more, but most likely the death of newborn babies are dropped significantly. And you see the rise of China. It just means at that years, China's economy improved significantly. So it's just the GDP is going, and also the life expectancy improved significantly. As you see, the gaps of the countries is just getting closer. Like life expectancy in China is almost in the US, and all the countries that start from around 30, 40, now is the life expectancy is near 80. Just one measure showing that global economy and health is improving.
Is the bubble size means the number of people?
Okay. Look at here. Size is population.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't
No,
mean.
it's okay. I just showed you. So this is a really interesting website. It's instead of like explaining this, maybe you can look at health, like health issue, energy, education, economy, or other figures, and you can see what happened during those centuries. And also look at here, color means region. So since India and China from Asia, the color is red. Canada is from Africa, blue, and US is from America's continent, so it's green. Do you see the power of visualization? So we look at the history of these 4 countries in last two centuries, and we compare their income versus life expectancy. And if you wanted to read books, it might take 2 hours to read so many data, so many events, so many numbers. So this visualization might take 1 minute. So you summarize 200 years of history of 2 countries in just 1 minute. Assume you use it in your business. You save a lot of time for your higher management levels and help them to understand very well and in a very efficient in terms of time, in a very efficient way. And in this course, we have some experience of creating dashboards. So at the end of this class, you might do something similar to what you see now. Any questions so far? Okay, this figure just talks about softwares that are available for visualizations. If you look at the x-axis, it's about completeness of vision. Y is ability to execute. So as you see, the leading softwares are Tableau, Click, and the product of Microsoft, like Power BI. These are, especially if you're in the job market, I think Tableau is one of the best ones, and also Power BI. We don't have we don't have time to cover Power BI, but hopefully at the end of the study, if you have time, I make some videos, some optional training. So if you're interested. But Tableau is a really good one, which is in the very trending, and many employers looking to people who knows how to work with the Tableau. Recently, we have an infusion of analytics into visualization, so kind of merging together, and not only just visualize what happened, you can use it for predicting something in future. Also, we have information visualizations. So predictive visualization or predictive analytics looks to future, but information visualization looks to history, what happened so far, describe it. Now we go to importance of storytelling. As I said, you need to practice how to present your data, especially if English is not your first language. And you shouldn't be very complicated. You should be very concise and be artistic in the way that you want to present, impress people. So I think this course and also the analytics competition, it just gives you good skills and prepare you for the actual life that you need to present. And this is actually really good practice. So at the end, I don't look at how good you are in Tableau. And actually, I don't expect you to be very good at Tableau, because just spending like a couple of months doesn't mean that you have good skills in Tableau. You have enough skills. You will have enough skills, but I'm persisting on this being good at storytelling. But you might, we talk about softwares here. So we said Tableau is a good one. Maybe look at the lower left. We have Yellowfin and like Oracle, Looker. So maybe you end up working in a company doesn't have Tableau. Maybe they have these softwares. So there's some similarity with Tableau, but basically if you have skills in being able to have a good storytelling, you would be a winner. Okay, this guy is Sir Branson. He is founder of Virgin. There's an airline of Virgin Airline and also Virgin Galactic, which is, he's actually using a plane to shoot satellites. So basically, he uses his 747 jumbo jets to lift something like missile, actually. So, which some missiles that equipped with the satellites, so they take it near, like, 30,000 feet, or like whatever 747 can fly, and then they shoot the satellite to the Earth orbit. So that's actually a good company now. He's saying that complexity is your enemy. Any fool can make something complicated. It is hard to make something simple. So do you see? He's a CEO of two large companies. He doesn't have time to waste over very complicated figure. For being able to manage them very well, he needs some artistic analysis that can give him concise visualization that talks about his business. He doesn't have time to spend like 10 minutes or 20 minutes on each figure. Maybe a very concise figure that gives him good information is what he's looking for. So basically, don't look too fancy. Look fancy, not too fancy. But the most important thing is being able to transfer your knowledge and information in a practical way. Okay, sorry, today might be a little boring. We talk about too many things. So let's start with Tableau. Makes our hands a little dirty. Later we discover Tableau more and more, but for today, we just start discovering Tableau. Okay, go over your model, second week, and download in class PDF and sample Superstore subset. Okay, I give you like a few minutes to log in and download these files, and then open your Tableau. You have like 3-4 minutes to do all of them. So don't be in a rush, no worries. So I give you some time to download them and also makes your Tableau ready. Okay, hopefully all of you download the data and make your Tableau ready. So this is a Tableau environment when you just open it. So hopefully you already activated your Tableau. So this is the version that I'm using. So if you have the older version, that should be fine too. So I'm using 22.4.2. If you have older version, maybe you can basically update from here too. And if you just don't know how to activate your product key, go to help, come on manager product keys, and here click activate with a product key, and enter the product key that I already sent you through email. So again, help, you may check for updates, but most importantly, manage product keys, activate a product key, and here copy and paste that product key that I already gave it to you. So let's open the Excel file that is on the model. So as you see, this is basically just a report of the orders. Basically, like, we don't have to take care of order ID, but basically priority, discount, order, customer ID. Another important thing is order ID. And as you see, we have repetition of some order IDs. It just means in the one order, we have 3 items. So if you go here, you can see it was a Xerox, Acme, and there's a V17 something, and as the product names. So this is just a sale of sales in the basically website, and they have some customers that did some orders and basically bought some items from that store. As you see, some orders are returned. We have a page of returns, and we have a page of users. So we can understand for US Central managers Chris, East Erin, South Sam, and West William. For today, we just work with this sheet, which is the order sheets. And we discovered some visualization over Tableau. Also, what happened? Okay. Also, I shared a PDF with you guys. So let me just open it. Okay, can you see the PDF?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's good. So we do these practices over Tableau. So for example, first one, we have a product and sales sums. Okay, so open your Tableau, go to, when you open it, you see a connect. Under connect, we can connect to Excel, text file, JSON, PDF even. So for today, we connect to Microsoft Excel. Click on it. And here you select the Excel file that I uploaded over Moodle, sample superstore subset. Might take a little bit. Okay, as you see in the left side, we have order sheet, return sheet, and sorry. Let me just remove it. So when let me remove this one. You can either drag and drop on the right side, like here, or let me right click and remove, or just double click on each of these sheets. As you see at the bottom, there's something like Excel spreadsheet. And you might remember I showed you in the return table, we talk about the orders that are returned. Now, as you see, this, when I drag and drop returns, these two tables just automatically connected through order ID, because in orders, we have an order ID. In returns, we have an order ID. And in the options, you can select is many to many or one to many, and so on and so forth. So this one is more related to database course. I'm not sure if I think most of you haven't had the course. So I don't talk about these connections. But if you already have some knowledge of database, you can do some cool things here. So you can make some reports that contains information from multiple pages. But anyway, let's just focus on returns, on orders. Okay, so in the bottom, if you hover your mouse here, this is for creating a new worksheet. When I hover my mouse, I see a new worksheet. Click on it. Okay, now we have a plain Tableau page. Look at the left side. We have several information, and it's divided into sections, upper section and lower section. Look at the upper section. It's like city, customer ID, customer name, order ID, postal codes, and also one for measuring all of them, measuring names. So these are nominal variables. You can all say as a categorical or just labels. Bottom ones, discount, profit, sales, these are numerical variables. And at the bottom, we have measure values for measuring these numerical values. Is how they design Tableau. So Tableau has smart built-in intelligence. We can understand which variables are nominal or which one is numerical. Okay. So look at the first figure in PDF file. In the columns, we have product category. In the rows, by the way, this is column, and this is rows. We have sum of sales. Product category, sum of sales. Okay. So for what I do, I go on the left side of my Tableau, select product category, and drop it on columns. For the rows, I go again to the left side under numerical section, select sales, drag and drops on rows. Easy peasy. If you already know Python R, making such a figures in Python R takes at least 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But here we made it in like just 20 seconds. Okay, looking at this figure, is there anyone can have some interpretation? What can you talk about this figure? Let me say the first one. In the first one, I can say, by the way, let me see, make it drag and make it larger. So technology is most of sales is about technology, then furniture, then office supplies. So if you are the manager of that store, maybe you see most of your sales come from technology, maybe you bring more technology Or maybe you see you don't have that much of sales in office supplies. Maybe you make some marketing campaign and do some advertisement to raise office supplies sale. So basically the goal is not making cool figures. The goal the goal is making insightful decision or making insightful comments. Any questions so far? I think it should be really easy. By the way, as you might remember in the first class, we talked about that you should do practice. At first, it looks really challenging if you never worked with Tableau. But the only way that you can learn is just by doing more practice, making your hands dirty. And by making yourself familiar with Tableau, you will understand that it's really easy to. So, but you might ask me, Hamid, here on the left, we just have sale. Why in the rows we have sum of sales? It's basically Tableau just guess what I want. But maybe you want to look at the mean of the sale or average of the sale. You go over the sale, right click, go to the measure. Instead of sum, select average. Do you see what happened? Now, actually, the average of sales is more in furniture. Let me go to sum again. Sum, technology is more. But if you look at average of sale, furniture is more. So can anyone explain why? Do you think is it right? The average of sale for furniture is more than technology, but actual sale, how much money that they made in technology is more than furniture?
I think maybe it's unit price different.
Yes, right. Furniture are much more expensive than technology items. Like usually, like the most expensive technology item that comes in my mind are iPhone and MacBook Pro. But furniture usually are much more expensive, like paying for bed, like sofa. But we have some technology items that are a lot cheaper, like headset, mouse, keyboards. They're just 20, 30 bucks. But usually furnitures are more expensive. It's the reason that you see such a thing. Okay, go to next. By the way, this is just for familiarity. I teach you later more details, but here we just want to have some cool experiences. Look at the second figure. We have region versus order. So we want to see how many orders we have in each region. Can you see my PDF?
Yes.
Yes.
What about Tableau? Do you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's cool. Okay, let's make that visualizations. So we want to see how many orders we have in each region. Again, I hover my mouse here. You see new worksheet. I click on it. For the column, I drag and drop region. And for rows, I drag and drop order. So order ID. So for measure, I go for count. You see what I've changed now. So let me do it again. I want to see how many orders I have in each region. If I just drag and drop order, not informative. Actually, for each order, You just have ABC means this is a text or this is a categorical variable, nothing showing. But right click over order ID, go to measure and select count. It's better to select distinct because as you see, for some orders, you might have multiple rows, but we want to see unique orders. So we select distinct. Now I look at what happens. So most of the orders are in the center US, then West Coast, East Coast, and South of United States, you have least amount of orders. So it just means you are outperforming Central United States. Maybe in South, you are not performing well. Let's say there is no other reasons, and it's just you are not performing well. Maybe you can make ad campaign or some marketing campaigns in the South to boost your sales in the South. Any questions so far? Okay, let's go to this third visualizations. Okay, here we want to see basically descriptive statistics for different like numerical value that we had. Let's just reproduce it. So for rows, I select measure names, for filter measure names. And also here I drag and drop measure values. New sheet. Measure, I think it was here. Measure names. Okay. Measure values here. Okay, so you might see something happens in like Tableau without I'm doing anything. It just, there's an internal intelligence in Tableau that just guess what I want doing. So for measure value, when I drop it here, it just said, maybe I'm interested in discount, profit, quantity, sales, so on and so forth. So these are measure values. So it's just created automatically. If you're not interested, just right click on one of them and you can remove it. But for now, just keep them. So as you see here, I have the items for my descriptive statistics, but I don't have the actual value. It just, ABC means the type of them. So over this dot, I just click and select text. So I don't want to see the type, I want to see actual text. So no worries if it might be look complicated for you. Just after this class, I post the videos and try to reproduce these figures by yourself. I think through that you learn a lot more. I mean, the purpose of today is just discovering some cool things in Tableau, not the actual teaching. So here, my rows are measure names. And also, I'm looking at the values in the center and nothing for columns. Let's see what I want. I do something further. I want to see how I made in each region. So each region I can drop in columns and I see this descriptive statistics for each region. So drag, drop. So as you see in the central region, I have most amount of orders. The least amount is south. In terms of sales, as you see, my sale is sum, means total sale. So here, Most of my search is from, again, Central, then East Coast, West Coast, and South. Okay, let's make the next visualization. So here, we want to look at profit versus sales for different product. And just let's do that. So for column, we have product, container, and measure names. So type of the container, measure names here, and I think measure values. So measure names in the center. Instead of dot, we look at colors. We want to make them colorful. And instead of all of these measure values, here we want to focus on profit, sum of profit, and sum of sale. So right click, remove, right click, remove. Okay, these are different containers. We look at their basically nominal variables. And in all of these numerical ones, we just focus on profit and sale. So in here, can anyone tell me a story? What can you understand from this figure?
We can concentrate on the ratio of the profit and sales.
Okay, for example, which type of container is the most profitable one?
Small box.
Yeah, and which one you has the lowest amount of sale?
The jumbo box.
Yeah, that bag. Okay. So here, maybe if you see you have most profit in small box, maybe you stock more in your inventory. And for jumbo box, we have a negative profit. Maybe you can get rid of it. You have enough sale, you have good amount of sale, but maybe because of competition, you're outperforming so badly, you're losing money. So maybe you can get rid of that section. Cool. Again, no worries. I know it first time Tableau, and we just doing some experiments, and might be a little challenging, but I explain more details about Tableau, and hopefully by the end of the semester you would be capable of doing so many cool visualization.
So, Professor, for this one, visualization for the jumbo box, that means there is not enough sales made in order to get a profit, is it?
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we are not sure about the reason, but maybe we can see there is a problem in jumbo box, right?
Like the break-even point is much further away for the numbers.
You're right. Maybe if you sell more jumbo box, maybe profit goes more than zero. Yeah, might possible.
Okay.
Yeah, economy will scale. Maybe if you sell more, you would be you have a profitable business. So, but here in my PDF, the color is orange and blue, but here is different. You can just easily go to color section, edit colors. For profit, maybe you select orange one. for the sale, maybe you double click to see more color and select blue. I think I did opposite, but I think you got the point. Okay, next one, we want to look at some of the sales with two nominal measures. First, product category and product subcategory. Okay, so next one, column sale. Product category. So now we want to, it's kind of look at your first question about the granularity. Now we want to be more precise and also look at subcategory here. Anyway, so let me just get it. Okay, so here you can see it in technology, you sell more than furniture, than office supplies. But you want to have like change your granularity and look at to these sections more precisely and find the exact subcategories that you're outperforming or you don't perform that much well. So I drag and drop subcategory on rows. So based on here, as you see in the rubber bands, you have the less amount of sales. But in office machines and chairs and chair mats, you have the highest sales, and also maybe in tables. You don't have to put columns and rows in such a way. You can just swap it. So let's subcategory, category. Do you see what happened? In the previous one, I put the sales in the columns and category and subcategory in the rows. Now I just change it. So maybe somebody likes this type of this orientation more. So anyway, you don't have to exactly follow what I did. You can be more playful and just play with the items, change row and columns, and maybe you get some more insights and get more familiar. So again, there is no biblical methods which one should be column, which one is row. It's just you just pick column of rows first based on your need, and second how you want to present, which ways it looks better for you. I think here, if I put some sales in the row and columns for the category and subcategory, it looks better than your PDF. I think so, but maybe your preference is what is showing your PDF. Okay, next one. In the columns, we have a sum of shipping costs, rows sum of profit. So both of them are value or numerical variables. And we have product category, order priority, and product name. Okay, shipping cost. Shipping cost and what? Profit. So now we just have 1 point. Total shipping cost versus total profit. So because we have look at the sum, but maybe you want to look at a finer figure and you want to see what happens in more details. So for the middle of the figure, we look at product category, priority, and name. Category, priority. So for category, let me select two different colors. So look at the right side, furniture blue, office supplies on orange, and Redis technology. Oops. Now we want to have different shapes. For order priority, we say select shape. Now look at here, critical is circle. We have high, low, medium, or a star is not specified. So basically, I think you got the point of what does column and rows means. And also here in the marks, you just want to say the figures in the middle of figure, how we do marking. And also we have product name. So okay, let's look at these last two. These are like time series. So we want our column shows time granularity. So the first is year, then in granularity change to quarter. And in the rows, we want to show the sale. For the row sale, for the column, I take, there is it, okay, order date. I just drag and drop order date, but Tableau just select year for me. Again, it's just internal algorithm of the Tableau. So again, I drop second order date. Now I just change it to quarters. If I'm not happy with any of them, instead of quarter, I can change it to month. But for now, just right click and select default, which is quarter. So based on this figure, so which is like, again, columns are years, so 2010, 11, 12, 13. So what was your best quarter of sales? In which quarter you made most the largest amount of sale?
Q4.
Yeah, Q4. And as you see, this is an increasing trend. It seems year by year you're performing well. It was opposite. Maybe you think of, okay, it seems I'm not basically improving. Maybe I'm decreasing in terms of business size. Maybe you can do something about it. But look at this figure. It seems the business is in good shape. Each year you have some improvement in your sale. But here in 2011, your first quarter was not that much great. So you have a deduction in your first quarter. Then you catch it up. And this year, you actually have really good first quarter sale. The last one, just sum of sale. Now we put in the row, and also columns are week. Sale. As you, when I put in the sale, now my rows are just my sale in baseline unit. If I drop it in column, now my column shows my sale indicator. But let's just put it in this way. For the columns, I select date, just year. I can right click, change granularity, and select more, maybe week number. Wow, in the week 47, you have most amount of sale. We can just change it to month. November. So also look at this November, or this November, or this November. There is a basically apex or a huge improvement in the November. Can anyone say what happens in November that we have big amount of sale? Suddenly increase in the sale. So if your first time, if you just came to US, that's fine. But usually there is a Black Friday in, I think it's in November, right? Or I'm making a mistake.
Yeah, it's in November.
Yes. Okay, so Black Friday is in the November. So and usually it's not even one day. It used to be just one day, but I've seen that at least last few years, it was even sometimes more than 1 week, but traditionally just one day. And so there is some good discounts, and usually people motivated to do a lot of shopping. So, and you might get good deals Black Friday. So just keep in mind next year, Black Friday, maybe it's a good time for shopping. So suddenly we have a influx of sales, and it just seems that the company might focus on those days in November. Probably they make a lot of money. Anyway, I'm not actually a hard believer in Black Friday. Usually I don't do shopping, but anyway, you might find good deals, especially for the TVs, I guess. Anyway, it was for today. Sorry, we had a long session. I just wanted to show more cool visualizations. And from next class, we do more hands-on experiences. Hopefully, Tableau makes a lot more sense for you. Also, I'm going to share some links. So if you want to look at some videos and get more hands-on experiences and more training, so there's some good free trainings for Tableau. Okay, thank you very much. That was for today, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor.
Thank you, Professor.
Bye.
So, Professor, so we skip the last sheet on the PDF file.
Oh, I went 10 minutes more than the session, but good thing I covered next class. But I think you can
Okay.
reproduce it. Do just see how I did. In the marks, I just dropped sales and I had shape and text. But good thing, thank you. Thanks for reminding. Most of your friends left, so let's just do it next class.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you very much for reminding me.
No problem at all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Professor. Have a